In a clash of legends, Dante and Virgil face off against the one being even demons dread, the Doomslayer, where the line between hell and devastation blurs. In this ultimate showdown, the forces of hell have never seen anything like this. On one side, Dante and Virgil, the legendary devil-hunting brothers with power and style that defy the very fabric of reality. On the other, the Doomslayer, the unstoppable juggernaut of destruction whose mere presence sends ripples of fear through the darkest corners of the underworld. As these titans collide, expect a battle where every blow reshapes the battlefield, and where even the devil himself might wonder if he should have stayed in hiding. To do this fight the justice that it deserves, we are giving all of these characters everything that they have ever wielded, and putting them in a final destination type of environment. First, let's go over the Sparta twins, Dante and Virgil. Both are demon-human hybrids that are descendants of the most powerful resident from the underworld, Sparta. They are not part angel, that is from the DMC reboot, and drop it in the comments if I should do a video on that, Dante. Anyways, angels don't exist on the main Devil May Cry. The top two dogs at the end of the 5th game are none other than Virgil and Dante. These two are equipped with weapons from their father's power before he disappeared. This includes the Yamato and Devil Sword Dante, which is a combination of the Sword of Sparta and the Rebellion. The Yamato is capable of cutting through space-time itself and has been regularly used to open and close gateways between the world of the living and the underworld. This sword is an awesome power. Then for Devil Sword Dante, this sword alone allowed Dante to go from taking his biggest defeat with a being known as Urizen and defeating a Qliphoth empowered version of the same demon. The Qliphoth is what propelled Mundus to be the king of the underworld when he originally reigned over this realm. Then Virgil is equipped with Beowulf, who is described to have immeasurable power, along with the Mirage Edge, which is Virgil's soul manifested into the shape of the Force Edge weapon. Dante has an armory of weapons outside of Devil Sword Dante as well. These include Cerberus, which is a weapon that transforms into Nunchuck Staff and more. He has the ability for ice, lightning, and fire. There is also Ifrit, which was acquired before DMC5 and utilizes the Hellfire. This fire is so hot that it melted Nero's blue rose bullets before they could ever reach Burial in Devil May Cry 4. And Ifrit is more powerful than Burial. We also have different styles. Dante is able to slow down time with Quicksilver, has great agility, and overall movement with Trickster. His overall skills with his swords and guns with Swordmaster and Gunslinger as well. Then to add, he has Doppelganger that he acquired from Devil May Cry 3. This is normally where I would insert the Royal Guard, but Dante has only ever canonically used that against Agnes, and we don't know the limits of it. Virgil has some unique abilities as well, with his ability to split apart his demonic and human sides to summon Nightmare, V, Griffin, and Shadow. Then Virgil can do his own Doppelganger as well, which is his original Nello Angelo form from the original Devil May Cry game. Then, of course, both the Sparta twins can amplify their power with their Devil Trigger forms and Sin Devil Trigger forms. Then we have the Doomslayer, who slaughtered demons for more than a millennia. The Slayer is equipped with about as many weapons as Dante, but the main ones are the BFG and the Crucible. Then the Slayer has his Praetor suit and his unbelievable strength. When the Slayer was found, the Praetor suit had gone through significant testing and was noted to be indestructible. The Praetor suit also allows the Slayer to absorb Argent energy. This energy was gathered by the UAC to be an energy alternative for mankind, and when the Slayer finds Argent energy, he is able to absorb this to further empower him. So let's go over some notes and feats here. So Dante has defeated Nightmare, who was created by Mundus with the power to destroy the infinite underworld. And for folks that get tired of hearing that, Nightmare is not even a main villain in Devil May Cry, because Dante would go on to defeat Mundus, who created his own universe in their fight within the first game. Then Dante would go on and fight an alternate universe variant of Mundus, who became one with the underworld itself. And Dante would defeat this more powerful version of Mundus in his base form. Then Dante would fight Argisax, whose very existence would impact time within the world of the living, and this demon would also be defeated in Dante's base form. Then fast forwarding to Devil May Cry 5, Dante would face off against Urizen, be defeated for the first time, unlock Devil Sword Dante, and then defeat Urizen, who was in a more powerful state, in his new and more powerful base form. Then Virgil, when he returns, would be on equal ground with Dante at the end of Devil May Cry 5, to the point that they are always going back and forth on who was ahead in their fights. All of this is to say that Virgil and Dante are even, and with their doppelganger abilities can look at having up to 4 Sons of Sparta. Then for speed, there is Pluto, who was the Demon King before Mudus, and is capable of traveling anywhere in the infinite underworld instantly because of his sheer speed. Which is to say, since Dante fights and defeats Pluto, that Dante's speed would be relative to Pluto's speed, and with Virgil being relative to Dante, and this arguably being one of the weakest versions of Dante at the time, both of the Sparta twins are at the immeasurable speed category. Then for the Slayer, Vega would perform analysis of the dimensional abnormalities, which resulted in a multiverse imploding inward on itself. This was specifically because of the fights the Doomslayer was having with Demon Kind. Then we know that the creator of the cosmology is Devoth, who created Urdak and Jakad. Then after the rebellion against Devoth, Jakad would later become Hell, where Hell is not limited by space, time, or dimensions. Then when the Slayer and Dark Lord begin their fight, it is noted that their fight will determine all of existence, and the Slayer defeats Devoth by himself. With everything that we just went over on the sheer size and complexity of the cosmology within Doom, the Slayer is above all of it. Now that we are refreshed on these folks, how would a fight between the Sparta twins and the Slayer go? Let's get basic and go over the stats with who has the advantage. Speed, I'm going to give this to the Sparta twins, mostly because they just have so many more visuals and notes showing their speed. Yes, both are in the same category, but even if they were, there are 2 here, and that's what we're going to go with. But we got to remember that the Slayer fought the Ka Maker and Samur, who are seraphs that are capable of traveling through creation, which would include hell and the fact that it transcends space and time. Then for destructive capacity and attack potency, this has to go to the Slayer. He just scales so much higher than anything that Dante and Virgil combined have been able to achieve. Durability, the Slayer has to have this one. The Slayer is wielding the Praetor suit and takes on an amplified Devoth to go and defeat him unscathed. Along with the fact that before the Slayer acquired his divine power, he fought demons as a normal human for over a millennia. This alone puts the Slayer's durability in the category of Outerversal. Devoth being in a mech that was meant to empower him, while his previous fights would shake the multiverse itself. We know the creator of the Doom cosmology, Devoth, created hell, and this goes beyond any limits of dimension, including space and time. Abilities, by sheer count, this goes to the Sparta twins, and the Slayer is naturally going to be less, but his abilities are high in power. The Sparta twins have their different styles, which we talked about, incredible regeneration, their different transformations, and the abilities that come with the weapons in their kit. The Slayer has different abilities, like the ability to absorb Argent energy, which is manufactured by the souls of Hell. Then we have soul manipulation, that is in the realm of the 6th-dimensional destruction, as Urdak is made up of Maker souls, and the Slayer is capable of destroying the structures in this higher dimensional plane that not even humans or demons can enter. With weapons, this can go hand in hand with abilities for the Sparta twins, but for the Slayer, and the 2 most impactful weapons he has is 1, his fists, and then the Crucible. When fighting against titans that are described as immortals, the Slayer is able to defeat them, and when use the Crucible to subdue them indefinitely. Now that we have gone over everything, who wins? The 2 most powerful demon hybrids to exist, or the man that made hell fear for its own life? I'm going to give this to the Slayer. He just has too much durability. His speed is pretty relative to them. His weapons and strength can outdo both of the Sons of Sparta and keep them down. And I do not see a way that the twins are able to come out on top. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.